What's going on YouTube? Tristan Farquhar here, back with another video, and in this one we have yet another viewer request. Yes, that's right, shout out to TNT Gaming for suggesting that I use POLIWRATH in Go Battle League Ultra after they got 100% IV one and wanted to know whether they should invest in it. Of course, I'm here changing the IVs to 15, 15, 15 to make this as accurate as possible. Now, if you want your Pokemon to come into a video here and to have me take on your suggestion, just make sure you're subscribed to the channel and comment down below. Also, I have 26 subscribers. I'll certainly know if you're subscribed to my channel. I'm watching you. And that's a joke. I'm not actually watching you. You can do whatever you want. Now, on we go, making the team here on PvPoke, just so you can get a feel of what it's good against. As you can see, the coverage is all right, and of course, bulk is for wimps, as there are X's in every single one of the meta threats. At least one of our Pokemon counters all of them. So what we're going to be doing today, seeing that Go Battle League Ultra is not a thing at the moment, and certainly where you want to be using a POLIWRATH, in my opinion, the Premier Cup of Ultra is not a thing at the moment. We are going to be battling in the PvPoke simulators, a fantastic website that you guys should be using for your Pokemon Go PvP. So here we go, up against champion difficulty. Hope this is alright for you, because it turned out that an XL, as I would have done POLIWRATH, would have been mega expensive for me to power up, and I have no Stardust at the moment, absolutely none, waiting for Landorus to come out to use that. So as you can see, we get a terrible lead here, Surfetched against champion difficulty, of course the one difficulty mode that very rarely makes a mistake. We're going to shield the Night Slash, which is a mistake of our own. It could have been a Leaf Blade, but we do hit through a Dynamic Punch, which is huge. That's absolutely fantastic. We are going to shred this guy, and here comes another hard counter in Ampharos, an electric type, to deal with our flying type Drifblim XL. Now, to the person who requested this video, of course, I am using two XL Pokemon here. If you don't like the idea of using XL Pokemon, you don't have the candies, you can certainly swap out the XL Drifblim for a standard Drifblim, and even swap out the XL Stunfisk for an Excadrill, a rather spicy pick, but certainly one that will work nonetheless. So we are going to go ahead and leave our Drifblim go here. They're going to get through a Thunder Punch, and down we will head. Now, I hope you can see this all right. This simulator, I think it's a little more effective even in showcasing a Pokemon than the actual Go Battle League itself, because of the tendency for humans, of course, to make mistakes, for bots to not make as many mistakes. We're going to go for a Rock Slide here, just in case they manage to get to a Focus Blast on time. That's going to be a Thunder Punch. We're absolutely fine. We can leave that go and then farm that little piece of Ampharos' health down. So that's absolutely fine. Here we go now. They will come in with their Surfetched. We're going to leave this go. This is going to be a Leaf Blade. And here it comes. It is a Leaf Blade. Fantastic. That'll do a chunk of health off of my XL Stunfisk, which is yet another Pokemon that I really want and don't have in the main game, which is sad. I'm sad thinking about it. We're going to go for an Ice Punch here. And we are hopefully going to, bait out a shield. As you can see there, the purple comes up. It's blocked. And a shield goes from up at the top into face. Now we'll go for Dynamic Punch, and I would personally think we're going to get this nicely through. And the Dynamic Punch sails on through, absolutely lovely for us. So what we are going to do here with our little POLIWRATH is we are going to go ahead and leave the shield, and we are going to leave POLIWRATH go. It's going to come right to the wire now with our Stunfisk going ahead and taking out their Empoleon, and we're going to go for a Rock Slide, which is of course going to be shielded by the Surfetched. The champion difficulty doesn't have any chance of ever forfeiting a game, as far as I'm aware anyway, and we're going to come down to the wire, but we do get to the Rock Slide to take a much wanted win against champion difficulty. So in the meantime, just in case the viewer happens to be watching this right now that requested it, I would suggest, if you're going to want a POLIWRATH, or if you're just powering it up for the fact that it's 100% IV, I would personally wait to get a more optimized IV for it. Of course, 15, 15, 15, as you may have seen at the beginning, is not the optimal IV. and you can get up to level 39 if you're not using XL candies. XL candies are even more powerful in terms of a Poliwrath, and I also believe that XL Politoad is a much more worthwhile investment. However, if it suits your team to use the water fighting type, I would absolutely go with the one you have. So have a watch of these battles here and see, does it do you any favours. We're going to go ahead and use a Rock Slide on the Kingdra here that has switched in. We landed the Dynamic Punch earlier, which was nice. It landed a lot of damage off of the Kingdra. And we're going to go ahead and let the first Octazooka go through. And we're going to shield up the second Octazooka, which is this one here. Here it comes, Octazooka. Going to do absolutely nothing, has the chance of lowering my attack, and it did lower my attack. Attack fell sharply, as you can see, if you can see under that little black bar. And I believe firing off that Rock Slide, I certainly couldn't see that, because that did minute damage. What we're going to do here is we're going to go straight for the Earthquake, and see what we can do with that. If they shield it, it's okay, but if they don't shield it, we are rolling in it. And they do shield it, so no rolling around today. And we bring in our Poliwrath. I believe now they have used both of their shields, as far as I'm aware, as far as I can remember. We're certainly going to use one here on that Drill Peck. Yes, they've used both of their shields, and so have we. We should be able to outpace the Empoleon to the Dynamic Punch. Sorry, did I call it Poliwrath a few moments ago? I might well have done. I can't remember now. If I did, I meant Empoleon. We're certainly facing off against an Empoleon. And down it will go. The Water Steel type Empoleon, of course, taking super effective damage from that fighting type Dynamic Punch. And a Dragonite comes in, and at this stage, we all know what's going to happen. A nice little tickle of an Ice Punch is going to come in and freeze up the battle in our favour. Down goes a lot of that Dragonite's health. And of course, Poliwrath will be going down to this here Dragon Claw, but that's absolutely fine because our backline is going to be able to deal with theirs, which is very, very nice. Of course, the champion difficulty, if you did not know, selects teams either most used by the community or just really strong teams in general, as far as I'm aware. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I am next to sure. If the creator of PvPoke happens to be watching this, I have possibly insulted them completely by getting everything wrong. And maybe I've impressed them by getting everything right, but I doubt it somehow. But we're going to go for an Icy Wind here. It's 4 times super effective against the Dragonite. A regular Drifblim could certainly do just as well as an XL Drifblim. It loses a couple of matchups, of course, being 8 levels lower. You want to get your XL Drifblim up to level 48, whereas level 40 at 100% IV is what you would prefer to get with the regular Drifblim. Now, into the last battle. It's so fast, actually, in this to get into the next battle and the next battle and the next battle, which is handy. We've one left for you today. We get a terrible lead up against Clefable, and they don't seem to be switching for the moment, which is nice. We can go for an Icy Wind, lower their attack, and see where we can go from there. Now they're going to switch out into Meganium, which is fantastic, because if that's their best counter to our Drifblim, it means we can go for these Icy Winds fairly freely, lower their attack, and take down a Pokemon that has really, really good potential to assault our back line and get something fairly decent out of it if you're that Meganium. They're going to go for a Frenzy Plant here. Here it comes. It's not going to do very much damage because we just lowered their attack, and it's also not very effective, but you've always got to respect Frenzy Plant unless you're a Ferrothorn, because then you resist it so much that it's not going to matter. Even Skarmory, Tropius in some case, can be whittled down, particularly in Great League, by one of these Frenzy Plants from a Meganium. Well, not one of them, but you're going to be taking a fair few Frenzy Plants to be whittled away. Now, back we go on with these Icy Winds, and I have had a thought pop into my head of just how good an XL Tropius would actually be in Ultra League, considering it does come in just under the 2500 rating at some point in its CP life cycle. We're going to go ahead and go for the Icy Wind here on the Swampert. Lower its attack a little bit, just in case it takes on our backline, which it certainly will. I have it lined up here to take on Poliwrath. Now, the safe swap of this team is, of course, Drifblim. If you might have figured it out already, if you didn't, now you know. in case you somehow happen to have all the XL candies that you need to power up these Pokemon. If you do, how? Just how? That's impressive if you actually do have all the XL candies to power up, particularly the Stunfisk, which I have been actively trying to get for a long time. I had a few hatch from 7Ks, and then Geodude arrived. There have been so many Geodudes. Then I hatched 100% Alolan Grimer. Look forward to that when I get the XL candies, because I'm certainly powering it up for Great League. Absolutely, that'll be a nice spicy one. And we are going to let through this Moonblast right here, right now. There it goes. Through it comes. And we are going to go for a Rock Slide. Or not. We're going to miss out on the Rock Slide altogether and just finish him off with an Earthquake. Yeah, decent call. Decent call just to finish him up with the Earthquake. Make sure all that health is just nicely turning orange and going down to nothing. So we all know what's going to happen here. We have a full Poliwrath in the back, waiting mercilessly to take on the enemy Swampert. Hydro Cannon's going to come through, and now it's all up to Poliwrath, but really all up to Poliwrath is a bit of an understatement. So I'm going to have to say, as we leave this Swampert get absolutely torn apart by our relentless barrage of attacks, and also their Earthquake that's making its way through. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a like on it, leave a comment down below if you want any Pokemon showcased before you invest in them. And with all that being said, thank you for your support on this here channel, and Tristan Farquhar out. See you later, guys.